There's chairs in here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm excited you guys all came to this. I think I want to try to do this once a month here and have everyone local that can come do this, because I think it's a good way for us to stay connected and just for you guys to get to know each other other than just Facebook, because it's nice to be able to see people that we talk to every day, but we don't see each other. So the reason I picked this topic, so I want to talk about goals and time management because it's obviously so important, but there's a lot of this relates together, and I wanted to talk about a few things that kind of leads up to being able to create goals, because we tend to like throw them around and not really take action and do them and really follow through in the things that we need to in order to reach them. So I'm going to be asking you like some questions, like each of my topics kind of has a question for you to think about, and I want you to write it down. And then I'm going to, when we get done, we'll have like a little kind of a homework assignment, but it's very, very easy. Okay, so I want you to think about what kind of coach you are. So there's like a hobby coach, and we know a discount coach, but most of us here are just in this for strictly the discount. And I understand if you just want to do the discount, that's totally fine. No pressure either way. But I kind of want to I want you guys to think about if you're like more like a hobby coach, where you're like, okay, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to help people along the way. Maybe make a little extra money because of X, Y, and Z. Or we know like the other option would be to like be the CEO of your own health and fitness business. So what does running your own business mean to you? Does it mean that you're going to like, for me, I'm going to replace my full-time income? So that's my goal. So that's a big, big goal and a big like why for me. That's what drives me every single day. But maybe you just want to like go on vacations, and maybe you just want to, have an X amount of money. So either way, that's fine. But you just need to know which kind of coach you are, and be thinking about that, because that's going to determine like where you're going to go with this. And of course, we know like getting on calls, like if you're going to be like, if you're really going to run this as a business and you're going to be determined and make it a priority, then you're going to have to get on calls. You're going to have to be a product of the product, and not only be a product, but prove that they work. And then posting, sharing, tracking, and really like focusing on time management, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit. So the most important question tonight is, and we've talked about this week with a few of you in this room, is do you believe that you can do this? So that's like huge, because it's like, do you really think, so it's easy to say like, okay, I want to be a Beachbody coach and I'm just going to get a discount and I'm going to maybe help a few people. Like if it comes up, I'm going to talk about it, but I'm not going to like necessarily like, I just don't know if I can be bold enough to reach out to people. So if you're sitting there like thinking, okay, I don't think I can do this because of X, Y, and Z, and maybe you have a reason because you don't feel like you're fit enough, or you're not dedicated enough to your own health and fitness. You feel like I can't possibly help people because I struggle. But I feel like if you feel that way and you want to run this, but there's all kinds of like things in your mind, then you've already given yourself like a unfair, like slow start, because then there's just that mindset, and we talk about it all the time. And we know personal development is going to help. We know that I feel like I just said a while ago, like I feel like since I've been getting up to get my workouts in the mornings, like I'm so much more motivated like for the rest of the day. It blows my mind. It's like I feel accomplished because I did it. And then it's like I'm just more eager to help people because like I'm doing it. I'm doing what I'm telling all of my challengers to do, which I have been like not doing very good at in the last couple months. So you've got to find something that is going to drive you to make you believe that you can do this. And, hopefully, you look at your upline, or you look at other coaches maybe that you follow, and you realize like, okay, I can do this. If she can do it, if she can replace her income, or if she can make this amount of money, which would like be huge for our family, then you have to like believe you can do it, or you will not you just won't be able to. I think that is just like that mental block that you'll have. And I think we should all be excited about what we're doing, because that shines through in our messages. It shines through on our posts, and people can just sense that. So I already said that. I had down like ways to gain belief and confidence, which is taking care of yourself first before you take care of anybody else. And Carlita had spoke on our Diamond Ship, and I'm just pointing her out because she just dealt with this week. And she had shared, that she was struggling, and she was, feeling defeated from work and her full-time job. And then it just leaves you feeling like your cup is literally empty and you have nothing else to give. And I think we've all been there. Like we talked about it amongst all of us that, you just get that feeling and it just drags you down, and then you can't physically or mentally motivate others if you're in that situation. So you have to make that your first priority before we can even think about building this business. And then of course, personal development. Okay, so the next question is, what drives you to work this business? And that may be a little bit repetitive, but what motivates you? So does money motivate you? Does, staying home with your kids? Both of those things motivate me. Having flexibility, that motivates me. More vacations, being able to just up and go whenever you want. All those things motivate me. And I started this because I thought this was a great vehicle for me to possibly stay home with my kids. And then now I've realized it's so much more than that. We were listening to Shauna Penny did a call a couple of weeks ago on the Diamond Leadership. I think it was in Diamond Leadership page. And she talked about money, and she said, she's the one that just hit the $1 million. I don't know, some of us had seen that, and she spoke at Coach Camp. But she just hit the $1 million club, which is basically means you've made $1 million with Beachbody, and she's been a coach for like 9 years. So, she's put in her time, but, over the course of the time, she's hit $1 million. So she said on her video, she said, money next to the scale on like, I have to have it, like oxygen's on that scale. And so is money, even though obviously money is different than oxygen, but you have to have it. Like we know we have to have it. And it doesn't mean that we're going to be happy if we have it, but it means that like the things that make us happy, like being home with our kids and being flexible and all those things that we want to do, those are the things that make us happy. So it's kind of neat that she described it that way, because we, and I think sometimes we feel bad about Beachbody's so like not focused on sales, which is great because we focus on the people and the relationships, and then the sale will come. We always say that. But I think sometimes it's hard for us to say like, because, every other companies are so salesy. Like we know they post it and they're just like, I need 24 orders by Friday in order to reach this goal. And you're just like, I don't relate to that. I feel for you. Okay. I'm sorry, but I don't know. And so I feel like it's hard sometimes for us to say, because this is a business. At the end of the day, you shouldn't feel bad about like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Just because I feel like sometimes it's touchy on, like, I sometimes feel bad. Like I'm saying, I'm doing this to make money. I love it. And there's a million other reasons I'm doing it now. But initially, we all need it. We all need it to do the things that, are going to give us financial freedom and whatever else your goals are. So don't feel bad about that if that's why you're wanting to do it. Okay. And so the next thing is your vision. And I think that we all kind of sometimes doubt the business. And I would be lying if I said that I've never thought, like, am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to, get to stay home and do the things that I've really worked toward my heart and soul into? And you're human, so you're going to feel that way. But you also have to be like, if you're a raving fan of Shakeology and you're a raving fan of the products, because we know that spending 30 minutes a day and helping others do that drastically changes your life with at-home workouts. So we know that this can change so many lives, that I think that sometimes helps me to realize, people always ask me, is this going to really last? I have so many people that ask me that. Is it really going to last? And I'm just like, people need health and fitness. So I don't get it. I think that's a silly question, because it's not like a quick fix. It's not something I'm drinking that's going to give me wings or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's more like you have to focus on the long term. And that's with the business and with our fitness too. And I definitely think this business is going to be around. I mean, if they've been in it for 9 years or 10 years and it's the biggest it's ever been, people are always going to need health and fitness. And maybe you have somebody right now that you kind of think, oh, they're 20, we talk to people and they're maybe 21 and they're not at the time in their life. I wasn't thinking about health and fitness when I was 21, but give it 3 more years or 4 more years and they have a kid and whatever, then you're still there to help them.
How long has Beachbody been going?
90.
Well, when they first started, I was trying to think, it was 90. I have it in my notebook at home. They started off early on the beach. Carl and Joyce people made the videos.
So it's been
I think
years, at least.
Has it?
Oh, or coming up on?
I think I'm going to say 15 or so.
15, yeah.
And I was just listening to Dave Ramsey the other day, and he said that health and fitness and pets are, so if you guys want to quit and start selling pet toys or something. But seriously, he said health and fitness and pet stuff is the number one. Like he said, how many millions and billions? He said billions of dollars it makes every year.
People spend billions. I heard that podcast. I was listening.
Yes. So that's gonna make you feel good too. If
that's true.
He's so very picky about.
I just when people dog like MLMs in general, though, I'm like, okay. I mean, I know like Mary Kay's been around for like MLMs, but like Beachbody, it's not like Beachbody just came onto the scene and all of a sudden we're working out. Like
right,
it's a little
doing this
different.
a long time.
It's a little different too. Everything is direct. I mean, Macy's is closing. JCPenney's is closing 140 of their stores. Sales are going direct. Stuff is coming to your door now. I order skincare right to my door, and I pay for it every month out of my checking account.
Yeah, exactly. Groceries.
Even CVS does a curbside pickup. Like they'll bring it to your house, and so the world is going that way.
Right.
You better jump in now.
Yeah. Right. And it's so true. And like what I always tell my challengers, and I was telling Deanna yesterday, that like I always explain to them like the 21-day fix. It's like this gives you all the tools to succeed. Like no other company has coaches that stand behind like really the customers and make them like their top priority, put them in a group and check on them and make sure, this and that. And I know not all coaches maybe do that, but for the most part, that's what they stand by. And I think that is like golden. And that's what makes this company like stand out from anyone else. Because none of those other companies have, I don't think they have groups, and they don't have, it's like, you buy the product, you drink it, and I think you go on your way. I don't know. Okay, so you gotta just remind yourself or remember what's gonna drive you to what's gonna be in your mind every day when you get up. And for me, like I have a huge, huge vision. I have a huge goal. And it's like, I never forget that goal. I never wake up and think, I don't want to stay home. I don't want to be, I don't want to be with my kids. So it's like,
I don't want a house on the beach.
No, I don't want a house on the beach. Like, I don't want, like, I don't
want to be debt free.
No.
Until I die. I want to be buried in the
Exactly. And so if you have to find a why that's big enough, and maybe it doesn't have to be like our whys are all going to be different in this room. And maybe you love your job and you don't want to quit your job, and that's okay. I think, but we all could use extra, and we could all use some things that, will really uplift us, or for future, it's going to make our lives like really like awesome. So you got to remember long-term and not instant. And I always compare like mascara or anything else that you would sell. Like this is long. That's why it's so hard to get people to invest in this, because it's going to take a while, like for them to see the results. They don't get that instant gratification when they make that $140 purchase. They can't hold it in their hand. And any business takes time to build from the ground up too. And so you have to keep that in mind. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to put like, and Jamie could probably say this, it's hard to say like, I don't know. I don't know that I would, if I could have guessed, like, I mean, as hard as I think I've worked, I don't know if I don't know. I didn't know, okay, at 2 years, I'm going to be here. Like you can't put a time frame on it because you don't know, like you just can't. It's just, I think that's this business, and you're going to have people come and go, and you're going to have like, just people think that their health's not a priority, and all that stuff. But patience, and persistence is like huge.
And I want to say, like, along with that,
yes,
because we're on that topic, like, I think that, we talked about this the other day, and we were just sitting here talking about it. I mean, I would say, and I know most of you from Facebook, I watch you guys on Facebook, and I think that more than, obviously we say money is, but like the kind of people that you guys are, Beachbody is not like any other company. And I've been in MLMs. I've been in, not Slammin', but Mary Kay and Tastefully Simple. So the thing is like, we go to places with our customers that you don't go when you sell a lotion. I'm going through it right now with a girl, and she was going to be here tonight, but it's basically like, what makes them gain weight, and it could be something that happened to them when they were 6 years old, and you're literally hearing it come out, and they're finally coming over. You literally go to places with people that you will never go with any other company. And I think that is what drives me, and that is why I say, like, I could literally be making enough to pay for my shake right now, and I'll probably still be doing it, because that was my intention from the beginning. I never intended on being, really honestly, here for 3 years. But, I really didn't. I signed up, but, so I think that is a big thing. And the coming and going, I woke up, I always talk about this. Chrissy's really under me. She's under my sister-in-law, but she was really signed up under me. And we had a coach who she signed up. And I wake up Sunday morning to an email that, the cancellation emails that we've all seen, and there are 4 of them in mine. And they are literally her and her entire team dropped with no real explanation. And it was one of those, like, at first I was like, and then I was like, her decision. And this to me is a journey that's going to last a long time. Christina's been doing this for 9 years, and she's making a lot of money right now. There are people like Lindsay Weiss, who, if you see Lindsay Weiss, you would think she's the one that people are going to be like, is she just retarded? Because she isn't what you think about whenever you look at like the people that are like Abby, or they're
top, or even top coaches that are like super like fit.
And yeah, I mean Lindsay has heart. And if you have heart, eventually it will come, and it's not easy. I mean, we all know it's not. I mean, you put the time in, and you've got jobs, and you have kids, and time management. Are you getting it? But I just think it is all about patience. And I'm just saying that from my own standpoint, that there are hills and valleys. Just like if you opened your own grocery store or your own drugstore. I mean, you're not going to get in and make a ton of money right away. It's going to take a ton of time, and it's going to be hills and valleys.
Yes.
But when you take care of people, it happens.
Yes.
I mean,
and it's really easy to take care of people. I mean, let's think about it. Like, we all take care of our families, and we all and just like showing people like that you're there for them, like no matter what. And they don't have to buy nothing. I don't care if they buy anything, but that shows, and they're like, okay, then they're ready. When they're ready, they're ready.
And they'll come to you.
Yes.
When they're ready.
Yes. So it's so much more than money, but it's just, you've got to figure out what it is that drives you to work it every day. And I think that, like, basically what Jamie just said, it's like the whole ball of wax, like all these things like drive me. Like, I can't even imagine it now without like my groups. Like, my groups are like our team, and it's like my life every day. It's like you post and you talk and you share, and you have someone to relate to, and you just can't, I don't know anything else like it. Okay, so now we're going to go into goals. So like I had said, we basically throw them all, like it's the beginning of the year, and you set New Year's resolutions, and you have goals, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and you do it really good for like a while, and then we like fall off sometimes. So do we really have an action? Like, what actions do we do to make these goals like come to life? So you've got to make attainable, really manageable goals at first. So those kinds of goals would be like Success Club. Like, we can all hit Success Club. It's a manageable goal, Success Club 5. Your daily invites, your power hour workout, signing a coach, maybe one coach a month, etc. And I think these are hard to, I think those goals, almost short-term goals, sometimes are harder to make, because those are the ones that you're going to have to put the work in for, like your power hour, all those things you're going to have to work for in order to get to those bigger goals. And those are easier to make because those are the goals we want to hit. Like, those are the big ones that we want to get to, but we've got to do those manageable, smaller goals in order to get to those. So your bigger goals are your long-term goals, of course, like rank, Success Club All-Star, Legend, which is 12 and 24 months of consecutive, hitting Success Club consecutively, maybe speaking at your first event, paying off debt, all those things. We know what big goals are. Okay, so you've got to break them down. And I think the best way, I mean, it's another thing. It's easy for me to make like a long-term goal, but for a daily goal, like, I have to make a list, and I'm not very good at doing that. So I'm really trying to do better at that, whether it's with a planner, and really scheduling it and making it super simple. And you don't want to do, I don't know if it's Shalene or Melanie Mitra I was listening to the other day, but they said, don't really want to like do more than like 3 things a day. Like, you need to put, or maybe in the morning, I should say, when you get up in the morning, and if that's when your to-do list is, and that's when you're going to knock a lot of it out, you want to focus on 3 things, because if we do more than that, like, we just get overwhelmed, and then we can't like just feel stressed. So, whether it's your power hour or whatever. So make it super simple, set timers, and give yourself a certain amount of time. So if you have from like 9 to 10:30 to work something, to do something, then you need to do it. And then you stop, because this is where I think, and I've been in this boat. I know Jessica Servi, we talked about this, and Jamie's been there, and some of us that have really put some hours in with the business. It's hard to unplug, because if this is my business and I never let go of this thing, and I don't hardly, I mean, I'll be honest, it's ridiculous, but because I'm working full time, and then I'm trying to get to my messages, and then you find yourself like this is taking you away from your family, which can add stress, because you're like, oh, you feel like you have to do all these things that you know you need to do, and you don't have a lot of time maybe during the day, so you have to get to it in the evening. So you have to know when to shut it off. I think that's like the best thing like I could ever like share, or like from my experience, you have to know when to just quit. It's not one more post. It's not one more message or one more this or that. It's like, if it's 10:30 and I said that I had to get to something else, or I know it's going to be family time, I've got to like just say that's enough. And if someone messages you and they're saying, yes, I'm super interested in whatever you invited me to, then who cares? Like, they'll wait. They're okay. They're not going to like go away and say they don't want to do it because you didn't get right to them. So you have to set your business hours. And it's funny because I can kind of relate what Melanie Mitro said. She's the top coach of Beachbody, and she, Lindsay Gray, had posted a video from leadership in her team page, and it was of Melanie talking about time management. And she said, at the beginning of her business, and she's been the top coach for what, 5 years? 3. Okay. And she's like a workhorse. And, it got to where it was like a big deal with her husband. Like, he was like, okay. And he finally said, it's got to be me or Beachbody. Like, you've got to pick. And so she said, I knew that I had to like make the decision, and like I had to start setting hours. And my husband's never said that to me, but I'm just saying, like,
so I got divorced.
Exactly.
I had to do it.
Exactly. But she said, I talk to my husband, and like, I tell him if I'm shooting for a big goal or if I need to do something, like I'm open with him about what I need to do in order to get to those goals. But I just know that it's like, sometimes it's hard to shut it off. Like, I don't think, and for me, like, I'm okay with it sometimes because I know that right now I'm going to have to be super busy in order to get like to where I want to be. So I'm willing to put in a lot of extra hours. So make sure you set your business hours, and you can't feel guilty about working your business, and you can't feel guilty about not working your business when it's time to be with your family. And I know that some of us feel like, I feel guilt all the time. And I told Jamie that the other day. I'm like, I can say like, and I feel really bad saying this, but like some days I feel like I spend more time on my business than I do with my kids. And it's like, that's not a good thing. But my kids never, it's not like my kids are like, Mom, get off the phone, or they act like they're showing signs of like neglect. They're not. They're fine. But it's just like, it's all in your, the gun today, the gun.
Did I miss that?
Is that I think so. I missed it too. Is that a red flag? I was nervous about, I asked you, like, do you think I should post that? Because he's pointing this gun at the dog and like all these anti-guns. I know, but people.
Would be sitting at the table, he's like,
it wasn't a real gun.
No, it was a fake gun, but like I was working out and he was like messing with this gun. And he's like, he's messing around with it. And I said, like, we're trying to teach him not to point guns at people and our dog.
I wouldn't have even gone that far.
I know, but then I felt bad. I don't know, that's so stupid. But people are so weird.
I thought it was like, yeah, when you said that, I had to look at it a few times. I was like, that doesn't even look like a gun. You probably wouldn't say anything.
Well, after I recorded, I'm like, crap, you had the gun, like pointing the gun in it. Because I don't know, I just remember being little and like my cousin got grounded because he kept pointing the gun at people, and he got grounded for a year. I'm not even kidding. They took his play gun away for a year.
Wow.
Like it was traumatic.
Did he even care after a year? I mean,
but a year seems a little like
intense. Yeah, when he got it back, he pointed with his mirror. He had plans.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Had a whole year to think about
it.
But I don't know. I just feel like you can't feel guilty about it if you're if it's a priority and you're wanting to move forward and you're wanting to do stuff like this, you have to like invest the time, whether it's staying up later or getting up earlier, and not feel bad about it. Okay.
4 a.m.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so what are your priorities? So what are they? Write them down. We all have them, and I think they're sacred. Whatever they are, they're sacred to us because it's the biggest things in our lives. So for me, obviously it's my kids, and then I'm very passionate about my business. And so I make it a huge priority. And then of course we have other things too that come in our life that we have to tend to. But I think it's okay to value your time and to say no to the extra stuff and I feel like I've gotten really good at that. Like, I don't know. I think it's a good thing because you find yourself and I know there's things like volunteer at church or we do things that, you are already like, you've designated time for that. So that's in your to-do. That's in your daily to-do. You need to write that down because that's something that isn't going anywhere. That time, like when I go to work, I got to go to work. So that's not going anywhere. And when I shower, like they get so like strict with their scheduling. I know it sounds stupid, but you have to schedule that. If you want to make the best of your time, you need to schedule like when I'm going to shower, I'm going to get ready. How long is that going to take you? And that sounds stupid, but if you want to make the most of your time and really value it, you have to schedule like everything, just like our workout. We schedule it and we know it's going to be 30 minutes. And so we write that in. Okay. So, and I think time, like, I think that's one of the things that we stress the most about. Like, it's always like, that's everyone's excuse when they buy a program, when we're trying to invite them, it's like, I don't have enough time. Or if you to work the business, I don't have enough time. Or whatever it is, and then time stresses us out, and because you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. And I think it's like almost as important or stressful as money sometimes is to us. So that's why, try to schedule it. And I'm really working hard with that, especially, and not every day may look the same. Like my days, I work 3 days a week, longer days, and then I have the rest of my weeks a little bit more flexible. So you have to figure out which day, like if you need to take an evening off because you're going to have family time that night, then do that. And then work your business and set the hours around your own schedule. And then I want you to think about too, how many hours you can devote to your business. So if you break this down, if you were to write down your schedule for the day, I bet you would find like so much time that you're wasting. And I can attest to this too. Like I'm sitting on Facebook or I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to be productive, but then, the day gets away from you and you're off that day. And if you're like me, like if I have a day off, I just think about all these things that I can do. Like I'm going to get this done and this done. And I'm going to like conquer the world in one day. And then it's like 3:00 and my husband's coming home and I'm like still in my nightgown, and I'm like, I really have been working today. Like it is cute, but I'm still in my nightgown. But anyway,
that video that I shared, and she has to be a Beachbody coach.
I didn't see it.
She's got like T25 stuff on. She's carrying around her Shakeology shaker, but she does like, she wakes up and she's like, okay, I'm going to clean this. And then she finds something. Oh, but I need to clean up these.
Oh, I saw that. And you tagged Cassie in it.
Yes.
Because Cassie's like
she's really bad about that. But like, I should, like when we're done on the call, show you guys, because it is seriously what happens to your day. And then your husband gets home and he's like,
what'd you do today?
And she's like, what? I've been doing everything.
Yeah. But then the house is still a mess, and you're like, so I've been like trying to battle this, and it's like, it's just never.
And it's worse when it's like for me, I'm at home all day. I mean, I work at an office for real estate, but I work from my house. And so you think you have all day. And so like, I'll get up and I'll go, teach a class and I'll come home and then I'll do my workout. And then I'm like, I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to do my personal development and I'm going to shower and I'm going to be working by 9. And then it's 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I'm like, and I got to throw a load of laundry.
Yeah.
And it's noon. And then I sit down at 2:00. And I intended to be at my desk at 9.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because when I am working, like when I was working like full time, I got way more stuff done because when you're there, you're like, you only have like, I know Tabitha does, you could get pockets of time and that's all you got. And so when that's all you have,
you're like really effective with your time more.
Yes,
almost. Because I think it's in your mind too. You're like, if I have all day, I have all day. Like, I don't need to worry about that right now because I'm going to get to that later. And then it's like,
and those are the
time
things you have to be more conscious of.
Yeah.
Because, like, and I mean, I did start, like you guys know, I mean, I have a reminder. It'll go off here and tell me I'm going to have to be in bed at a certain time. Like it'll tell me bedtime in an hour. I don't ever listen to it, but
at least you know, like, okay.
Breakfast. I mean, my thing goes off as it's personal development. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm like way behind. So I know when I'm behind because I've got reminders on my phone, but you have to be intentional or else.
Yes, for sure. Okay, where was I? But I think if you respect your time, like we'll all feel like, I know I feel more fulfilled if I've balanced, because we always talk about balance and I think that that's overrated because we know like it's not perfect and we can't like have the perfect balance and be like designate this much time. But I think if we start to set like timers and we really start to value our time, then you feel more fulfilled because you're like, okay, I really was present since I spent an hour hardcore working my business and I only had that hour, but I like dished it out. Then like later on that night when I'm with my kids, I think it's more like you're present and you're just really, you can enjoy it because you know you've like done what you needed to do. And because otherwise it really will never stop. I mean, you can always send another invite. You can always send another, it never ends, but you have to shut it off.
And do it at the end of the night. Like what I started doing is instead of actually doing the task, I write it down. Like I have a piece of paper and I write down like that task because that way the next morning, like that's the first thing I'll do. And because a lot of times if you don't do it, like I'm horrible, but like I'll be ready to go to bed and I'll be like, I need to do this and oh my gosh, I need to do this. And then I'm like, I need to do this. And then I just start. So I've just started now because I was telling her like I'm trying to stop at 10 o'clock. because whenever you get out, I mean, I don't go to bed till like 11:30, and my alarm goes off at 4 or something, and I'm just like, I'm a have.
But I find that I talk more at 10 o'clock at night because people, or their kids are in bed and they respond. And I've like sold tons of challenge packs at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going to get, like, I need to get to bed, but I'm not going to get to bed because this person's like trying to get their order placed. But so that's hard, but I'm okay with it because like right now I've got to do that in order to, to reach some goals. But like, I think later on down the road, I will be more, I think I'll not.
The nights that you'll do it.
Exactly.
So do it 2 nights a week or
Yeah. And it's not like
something.
they can't wait till morning. Again, they can't wait till morning. It's not like they're going to say.
My morning is a little different than yours because you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get up and go to work. Like for me, that's, I have to just because I suck at sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. But what's that quote? You do, I can't remember, I've said it a million times, but live your life now like no one will.
Like others won't, so you can,
you can live your life.
Like others can't. Yeah, and it's so true. It's like Dave Ramsey. I think he's the one
that
really.
It's so hard for me though because I'm sitting here telling myself I want to be able to like be financially smart, but I also, if the money is there to like take my kids to Disney World, then I want to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if I'm working hard at my business because I'm going to give to them later, it's like I don't want them to like remember me like.
Right, but I think that I feel like, I know what you're saying, but don't you feel like that statement's more like for your future too, rather than theirs? Not so much, maybe. Not that it's not for them, but like I feel like that's for kind of you. Don't you?
And it is more. I mean,
because that's like so you can be on the beach if you want to the whole time.
My 18-year-old and my 15-year-old will tell you, they can tell you what I'm doing at night. When they were 5 and 4, they don't remember what I was doing. It's more for us. I want to be the one. I want the memory of sitting on the floor and playing Matchbox.
Exactly, it's for you and it's for us.
Memories, because when I say something to Brady, he's like, I don't remember that.
But I also think too, like if you wouldn't have done that, you don't know like what they.
Oh, I didn't do it that much. I was still a kid.
You can't ever like. You can't put a price on those things either because so when I first got divorced. My ex took all the silverware. Okay, he took it all, and we didn't have any. And so when we moved, we ate macaroni and cheese with tablespoons. Like I broke the ring that held them together, and I gave him the smallest one, and I had the bigger one, and that's what he remembers. That we ate with tablespoons, and it's like a tying memory. It was like a terrible, excruciatingly painful time in my life, and I was like so upset with myself because of it. How could you forget to not steal the spoons, like you know what I mean? And
but
I'm
it's
all
not like he's like affected.
But he loves that memory. It's a fond memory, and it's like it's a terrible memory for me.
Right.
But sometimes what your kids think of as a fond memory is not yours.
That you did it. You're doing it right. Even in the midst of.
But I think
stressing about it.
Yes, but that's what I think because I feel that way too. But then I'm like, they play together and they have fun, and it's not like they're thinking like, gosh, my mom. For one, you're their only mom. So it's not like they have anything to compare it to. It's not like they're like, gosh, my other mom. She says,
when they're 14 and they're at friends' houses, that's when my son is so small wouldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I can remember like
this age is great.
Yeah.
No judgment.
Yeah.
It is more for you, and I'm not saying you should do the things definitely.
No, I know.
I did do some of that, but I wasn't like my mom told me all these things she did to me, and I'm like, I don't remember doing that stuff either. But like she played school with me. I don't remember.
And I think it shows them independence too. Like I know they're little, but it's like it tends. I don't know. I just feel like my kids aren't like needy. No. Like they're just very like they play and they know. Yeah, I'm working. Like I'll be with you.
In front of them.
Exactly. It's not like I was. So what's the difference?
That was the big difference for me. I just say to myself like. My friends, they worked at Edward Jones. Both of them did. They were gone before their kids got up, and they got home at 7 o'clock at night. They spent an hour with their kids, and then their kids were in bed.
Yep.
And I'm saying I will work 8 hours, and you know what? If you want me to get you lunch, okay, I'll go get you lunch. You want me to sit down and read a book with you? I can do that for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Whatever. Because I have that flexibility.
Right.
Where I would not have that if I was sitting in. And there's some people who need that. I never desired that corporate lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go to a job at 9 o'clock. I want to go to the park at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to go to the park at 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
That was just always, but it is.
But that's a good way to think about it too, because I am I'm away from my kids all week. So when I'm here, they don't think it's not like they're thinking.
On you.
Yeah.
Like
you're there, but they're seeing you work, but they're seeing you make something happen.
Right.
Like my kids now look at me and they'll say to me all the time, Brady's like, do you really think that you'll have a house on the beach? And I'm like, yeah, I do. See, it's written right here. And he's like, I'm like, no, I mean, I'm legit. Like when you perform, you're gonna come visit, my house on the beach.
Right.
And fine, your kids and my grandkids are welcome at my house on the beach. If you
right, exactly.
You don't believe in me?
But don't let stuff like Disney World, that's kind of like the magical thing of it, because I'm telling you right now, when my son was 6 years old, he had outgrown Disney World. He did not want to go to Disney World because he likes roller coasters, and this kid likes to scare the pants off of me. He is not about going to Disney World and flying in the Dumbo and stuff like that and spinning in the teacup.
Next year.
He's not about Disney World.
And I never went to Disney World.
See, I never did either as a kid.
It was wonderful.
I never did either.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you, these are the things that I kick around.
No,
and I'm dealing with a lot of self-doubt right now, so I'll be just honest with everyone. That's holding me back in my business right now, so it's really good for me to hear these things. But, that's some of the stuff that's beating you around in my brain.
She wants a house on the beach in 20 years, 10 years.
I'm more about...
You're looking for a trip to Disney with your kids and a house on the beach, and
I'm more about, when I was a kid, my parents and I, we did missions together, and it shaped me as a human being, and I am looking forward to having my children go on mission trips and stuff like that, and stuff like, doing all kinds of work like that, service for other people, because that made me who I am, those things. Watching kids be hungry or don't have parents, it made me thankful for the things that I did have, and those are the things that I remember, so.
Because I had a mom tell me the other day, I forget who it was, in the office, I think. And she's like, yeah, we did the Disney thing. That was like $5,000 to $6,000 down the drain. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought, yeah, because it's not like, I don't know. And we went one day when Summer was littler. And I'm sure she doesn't remember much of it. But I don't know. I think it's for us, though. That's the sad thing is, I feel like it's for them. They're going to be excited, but are they really going to,
I know people that go every single
Well, me too.
year.
Me too. But I'm saying, I'm not going to go every single year.
I'm going to remember the trips that we took with Nick.
Yes.
When he moved out and moved on and,
Right.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing things for yourself.
Right.
He enjoyed the trip.
Right.
He has memories of it, but it probably was more important to Jim and I. But
Yes.
we sit around on occasion, oh my gosh.
Talk about it.
This happened, and, it's so.
And to invest, I think that they always say vacations, even just with your spouse, is like an investment in your relationship, because when you're home, you're not you've got stuff to do. You're not focused on.
You're easily distracted at home by things.
Yeah.
We make time my fiance and I make time to do nothing. We make plans to do nothing. And so when we go on I'm getting married next month, and we were telling people about how we're going to have just a 3-day honeymoon at this bed and breakfast in wine country in Missouri, not Napa or anything like that. Nothing major, nothing, just the foothills of Tennessee. Yeah, just for the two of us, and everyone's like, oh, you know what's awesome? Jamaica's awesome. I'm like, Jamaica's expensive, and I can lock the door at my house and watch my Netflix and not need, I can order pizza to my house too, because I like pizza. And I don't know, simple pleasures. You just got to get over the stigma of how everybody wants all these things.
Yes. Okay, so I'm almost done with this. No, you're fine. So at the end of the day, I think it's good to ask your day, did you run the day or did your day run you? And what did you do that day? What activities did you do to give you results and to give you, to move your business forward? So it's always important with the tasks that you're doing to ask yourself that at the end of the day. And even during the day, I think when you're doing those things, it's is this going to move my business forward? Is it something, can the dishes wait, or should I be focusing on what I need? Because those dishes will be there. Okay. And so weekly goals.
Yep.
Do what?
The dishes will be there forever.
Yes. In the laundry. Exactly. Yes. Never ends.
Yes.
Danny does the dishes.
My husband does dishes and laundry.
Aaron does a lot, so I can't now. So.
Mine does too.
So weekly goals. So Sunday nights are the best night to plan for your week, whether it's your meals, you're going to do we have calls every Monday night, if there's a live sneak peek, whatever it is. If your challenge group starts, or if you're going to do a one-on-one call with somebody, you need to have that all scheduled. And then you need to schedule your unplugged time. So know what night, or what time that you're going to really sit and focus, and I need to do this. I need to have a night where I literally like Wednesday nights or whatever night it is that I do not work, because I could work on my lunch break and then I could work sometimes throughout the day. So I need to do that. So a lot of these things I'm trying to implement as well. And put your phone on silent, and just be present. So then I feel like Monday morning, if you have these lists, like you're ready, like you're rearing through like the gates, like you're ready to, you feel refreshed and you're like, you have a plan, you know what you need to do, and now you need to get down to business. So like Melanie Mutro said this several times, like before you,
Sorry.
right there.
Oh,
Did you bring a porta potty, Christy, with you?
I should have known it was wine.
I know, I'm dry over here, but anyway.
No, I don't even
No, you're fine. So have a plan before you open your computer. So that's what Melanie Mutro, I've heard her say that like 4 times. Like before you open your computer, you have a plan. Like you're not just going to open your computer and you're going to go to Facebook and you're going to start liking and commenting, whatever. You're going to really have a plan, and you're either going to shut your notifications off because your messages are going to be coming through and you're not going to answer those. Because if it's not message time, you're not answering those. Or if it's not whatever time, like stay focused. If you're going to do your post, you've got to get your post done and then you move on to the next thing.
So you definitely think schedule your power hour out. Like,
Yes.
this is what I'm going to do first.
Yes.
This is what
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
you
do.
just knock it out. Like if you're doing invites and you're doing 3, you get them done and then you go to the next thing. And I think, I don't know, I feel like I like to post first. Doesn't even matter. But like I like to, obviously you're going to get your workout in, your personal development, and then your shake or whatever. And then you're going to post. And then it's time, I feel like, to really dive in and do your invites and never respond. And then when it's time to actually, when you've set aside time later in the day, maybe to respond to messages, because it's strictly specifically for that, then that's when you're going to go in and you're going to clear your inbox out. Because if you're sending your messages and you're really making your business a priority and sending the messages, you're going to have them coming in, and then it's overwhelming. And I know it's overwhelming to see like 6, because I have it all the time, like 11, and some days I'm like 13, and I'm thinking, oh my dear, because this is going to take me a little bit to like knock these out. But if you're sending them, we're thankful that they're coming in, because we know how it is when they're not, when people don't respond. So really focus when you do it, like they always say, laser focus on what you're doing and get it done, and then move on to the next thing and watch your time too, so that like when your power hour is over, or maybe you're doing 2 hours that day or an hour and a half, whatever it is, be done when it's time to be done. Yeah, just don't let your to-dos run together. And then year-end goals. It seems like a lot of coaches will make a summit goal and then they'll make a year-end goal, just because summit's kind of the halfway point in July of the year. So a lot of people say, I want to be diamond by summit, or I want to be whatever by summit. And then you're going to make a year-end goal, maybe for an income or maybe for rank or whatever. Okay, and you got to always think about how accomplishing those goals will make you feel. For me, it gives me joy, like to work hard at something and then like accomplish it and go, kind of like a program. Like when we start it, you're just like, okay, can I really do this program? And then when you get a weekend, you're like, okay, I can do this. And then when you see your before and after picture, you're like super excited, and that gives you joy. So you've got to remember like how you're going to feel, and it's not selfish to like want this for you and your family. Pockets of time, like the calendar, we talked about that, because your time investment equals results, and it can be messy, like super messy at first. I feel like I've had a lot of messy like times, like with my power hour, and just wasting a ton of time, like doing just aimlessly scrolling, trying to think, okay, maybe someone's going to pop in my head and I'm going to, instead of really just diving into. And it's going to take time. Like, I think you're going to do that because you're going to have to learn. So that's okay if that's how it is, but just know that like your goal is to get better with that. And you got to track your progress. You've got to try to evaluate it, and then think like, where can I be more efficient? What could I do differently? Okay. So I'm going to have you guys do, okay. So 2 homework assignments, sort of. This is the last thing. Write down your perfect day. Jamie had me do this a long, long time ago. Write down your perfect day and list out everything that you do on a day. So you might want to pick, like, I would pick a day that is your normal day. So for me, I consider that like working.
Oh, so this isn't our dream perfect day.
This would be your perfect day. Sorry.
Like if your day could run as smoothly
Exactly.
as possible, how
Yes.
would it go?
I know.
Incorporating what you already have, like a job. If you have
Yes.
and I say if you have like a job where you maybe go in one day, like I would always say do one where you're not at work all day and one where you are at work, because those days look very different.
Yes.
What a day that would be.
So just think about that. And you can also do a weekend day. Like if you know on Saturday mornings, or like I'm off on Friday, so I know I'm going to work my business on Friday. So I need a couple maybe different schedules of how I'm going to run those days. Because I'm going to, of course, knock out more on a day off with my business than I am typically with a day that I work. Not always, but that would be the goal. So try to write that out and schedule every little thing. Like if your kids are in bed at 8 or 8:30, right? They're sleeping by 8 or 8:30, right? Okay. No, I'm talking about Jack. Exactly. That is, so then that's your perfect day. You're gonna do better. You're gonna lay the kids down at 7:50 or whatever you're gonna do in order to get them to bed, so that you can, if you're wanting to work your power hour, or you're wanting to do something later in the day, that you can schedule that time to do it. In like my lunch break, I utilize my lunch break all the time to get some of my power hour done. And I don't want to always, because I feel like sometimes I just want to sit down and talk to my coworkers and like just be normal.
And you should do that.
I know, and I do. No, and I do. But then other times I'm like, okay, if you worked now, then you won't have to like feel so like stressed tonight and that you have to get stuff done. Okay, so practice on that and really write that down, whether it's your calendar, your planner, your whatever. Okay, so, and then I want you to write down these 5 things. Sorry.
Geez, 5, okay.
This is short. So you're going to have your daily power hour goals. You don't have to write this down now. This is just something maybe to do like tomorrow. Your daily power hour goals. So how many invites are you going to do? And how many posts a day are you going to do? And what consistency are you going to keep in order to, what's that?
Stop! I don't know what it's doing.
In order to like reach your goal.
And no, I never.
And I don't think we know, like there's no way from like us to know like, okay, if you want to make this amount of money, or if you want to hit this, we don't know how, like, I don't know what to tell you, like how many messages you're going to have to send, but you can get a good idea with just starting with 3 a day or starting with whatever. So figure out what your power hour is going to be in all vital behaviors and that sort of thing. And then the next thing would be your monthly goals. So you're going to hit Success Club 5 or 10. Which one are you striving for? What would you like your monthly income to be? Which personal development book would you want to read or be focused on that month? What workout program? Maybe you want one coach to sign up, or your rank if you want to go Emerald or whatever. So you got to have your monthly goals. So think about that. And then the third one would be your big scary goal. So something that is like, you feel almost like, I don't want to say you doubt it, but you are just like, oh my gosh, if I could do this, like this would be amazing. And again, that's your mindset, because you can do anything you want to do, but write down your big scary goal, like a couple, whatever you want to do, 1 or 5 or whatever. And then the other thing, I heard this on a national wake up call. And I don't know why it always stuck with me, and I think I said this on one of our calls a long time ago, but if you could not fail with this, so like if there was absolutely no way like you could fail, and really there's like no way you can fail if you keep trying, but like if you knew in your mind that you would not fail with this, that you could do whatever you wanted to do, like what would you do? So it's kind of like a little deeper question. Huh?
It's called the miracle question.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Because I just think it's like we get in our own way so much, and we feel like we're like, well, I just won't be able to do this because like I don't know that many people, or I don't, like whatever it is. There's always something that's in your mind that, you think someone else has like the secret sauce when they don't. They've just worked super hard at it and they've been super diligent and consistent. So what would you do if you knew you would not fail, or if you could not fail? And then the last thing is the qualities that you would want in a coach. So what would be the things that you would want in a coach if you were to kind of look at yourself, like what would you want to display for your customers, and what are the qualities that you would want if you were looking for a coach, or you know what I mean? And that's it. All right, record this and stop.
Are you done recording?
I'm gonna hit the record button if I can.